Murray dried up, our endless vineyards would come to an end. Our birds, animals and plants would die. Our Murray gum would wilt. We won't have a flushing toilet or water to wash our hands. We won't have baths, showers or swimming pools. We won't have drinking water or water to wash dishes. Worst of all, we won't have the Murray. Without the Murray, we'd just be a desert on the face of the earth.
What do you see as, say, the top three issues facing the Murray River?
Top three issues, I think one of them will be salinity, another one will be problems with the native fish species such as the Murray cod and the Macquarie perch, and the last one's probably just human interference.
As a Barkindji elder, I welcome you all here this morning on behalf of the Latchi Latchi, the first people who inhabited this part of our country. So I do hope that you enjoy your time spent here with us today. All the very best.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together please for Mr. Arron Wood.
Aaron, tell us a little about the history of the River Health Conference.
Well, it started in 1999, a very small regional event, and it's now grown since the 2001 event to an international event in 2003, so a massive expansion.
How is this event, say, different to any other environmental event staged?
I suppose the real unique aspect of this event is that it is a kids teaching kids event, and that's the only thing that sets it apart from any other conference. And in what happens there is that the kids actually research all the topics, they deliver the topics, they deal with the media, they basically run the whole show, so it is really unique in that aspect. It's the 2003 MDBC International River Health Conference, and we've got 650 students and teachers from all over Australia and from countries around the world. We've got countries like Belgium, Switzerland, Canada, the US, all represented here. And it's a fantastic opportunity for kids to actually get together and to learn about their environment. And this is something that we pick up on with a River Health Conference, is that kids don't polarise arguments the way adults do. It is only us adults who say it's the farmers, or it's the city people, or it's the rural people, and we spend all day arguing about things. Whereas what you get with kids is they sit there and they look at a problem and they come up with an answer, and that's what I want to see us adults doing.
1, 2, 3. I've been on this river a couple of times now, and I realise how important it is, not only as a symbol for Australians, it being their biggest river or one of their biggest river systems, not only because Aboriginal people were able to successfully navigate and live off this river for tens of thousands of years, not only because river communities derive their livelihood and their well-being from this river, but because this is a dry continent. We don't have a lot of rainfall, and we've got to use our water in a much more sensible, prudent and conservation basis way than we have in the past. And this River Health Conference, an international River Health Conference incidentally, is a fantastic place for the drive towards getting the Murray back to life to happen.
Tell us a little bit about your workshop.
Our workshop's about the cod and the food chains that involve with the cod. It's on the PowerPoint presentation, and we get the audience to participate by making a 1.3 metre cod that was actual size caught 50 years ago.
And how do you expect the students to respond to your workshop?
I hope they enjoy it. I think it's really good. We spent a lot of time and effort into it, so I think they'll really enjoy it.
How long did you work on your presentation?
And we've been working on it for about 4 months now. Maybe after school, in lunchtimes, in the holidays, we've been planning it and practicing.
Why do you think it's important to hold environmental conferences similar to this?
Because it's good to make the kids aware of what's happening, because they're the future people of our country.
And why is it important to hold conferences like this to address environmental issues?
So kids can get out and teach other kids and learn things, new things, because when adults are talking to you and teaching you new things, you don't really understand half of what they're saying.
Can you tell us a little bit how you ran your workshop?
We ran it in a train, so we went along the river and we talked about just little facts as we went along, and had a slideshow, PowerPoint, and ran it along like that.
And how did the students respond?
Quite positively. I think they gained a lot out of it.
How long did you work on your presentation for?
Probably for about 8 weeks. We were just getting stuff together, and then in the last 3 weeks we've been putting it together properly, and it's been pretty good. So.
Does that reinforce the kids teaching kids technique a little bit?
It does. I reckon there's no better way to do it. I will listen to a kid more than an adult.
Look, the Prime Minister sends his regards and wishes you all a happy conference. And look, don't worry about the river. It'll be all right come next election.
Sometimes don't let the fish going out, so it's pretty sad. Just imagine if Nemo is stuck in, and could be quite sad.
What would be the main comparisons between Australia and Sweden?
I think it is that we don't have a problem with water and you have, and it's a good thing to learn about. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to see how the problems go to solutions and so on.
And what will be your involvement at this year's conference?
I'm just here to learn about the environment in Australia and how people help each other.
And why are these issues important to people from your country?
We have the water all the way around Denmark because being such a small country, it's important to have the water clean, and you can actually drink the water from the tap and it tastes good.
What is your opinion on the Kids Teaching Kids method that's taking place at the River Health Conference?
Kids teaching kids is a great opportunity for youngsters to learn, because like, for instance, me, I learn easier from a kid, from a young kid itself instead of an older person, because it's much easier. You listen to them, because old people sort of bore you sometimes.
I guess when you're talking about politicians and celebrities coming along to conferences like this, they probably get asked to do this, 300 times a year. And we're not just talking about small celebrities here or small profile politicians. We're talking about the Deputy Prime Minister and John Anderson, who's only too able to talk about some of the issues that are relevant to the Murray-Darling Basin and Australia-wide with the kids at the actual conference. So the fact that they want to be involved with this shows that the importance that they put in this concept. They believe it's a proven concept with the kids teaching kids, them learning about the environmental topics and then coming together to teach each other. So they're really taking charge for their own learning, if you like. Just adds that extra special feeling for the kids that do attend, and they really appreciate to see some of their role models that come along to the conference as well. So the way the celebrities see it, they really don't see it as a chore. They like to come along to these kinds of things because they really do see the value of the kids in the future and trying to deal with the environmental management problems that we might have in the future.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. I'm sure the audience sits there and thinks this is a fantastic production. We're changing things all the time. We've got a huge team that actually helps us out, and this really does help to make a great conference. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes, a lot of volunteers as well.
Arron, where do you hope to see the conference in, say, the next 2 to 3 years?
Well, I'm honestly hope that some of these kids who are attending this conference today will end up taking over from me, because I think it's important to be young, to run a Young People's River Health Conference. So I'm really hoping that there's someone here that will succeed me in what I'm doing.
Fighting to address the problems with our natural environment is the issues that unite us all.